If you have the power to create a new basic human right, what would it be? Personal data is an individual's property until he/she chooses to sell it. Access to sunlight. I'd rather see people in all countries having the same human rights as we do in first world countries. Doesn't matter what basic human right will be made if most governments won't uphold to those rights. I'd just update our right to privacy to take in account modern technology. You know, these days, I'll just settle for the Bill of Rights actually being enforced. That would be a great start. The right to not receive any junk mail, calls, emails, etc. unless you give permission to the specific company/individual. Freedom Premium. The right to nap. If you are sleepy, you have a right to knock out a few ZZZs. The right to be left the hell alone. The right to death. In the end, there will always be those for whom death is infinitely more pleasant than life. I think it is wrong of us to just say suicide is wrong in every situation, when there are very obvious situations where suicide is indeed the correct answer. Yeah, there should be mandatory therapy of some sort before. Maybe even a waiting period, but just denying it to people and making them have to do it in less safe ways that are more likely to make their life filled with more suffering than ending it is obviously not the answer. Taco Tuesday. Right to go to the fucking toilet when you need to. My friend got a detention because during maths he simply could not hold it and the teacher would not let him go, so he went and bammed detention. Like it was crap his pants or detention. Really needs to be sorted out. 3-ply toilet paper. That everyone must own one medicinal M101 Abrams. Free macaroni and cheese baby. Removed. Right to know how tax dollars are being spent. The right to party. Access to clean water. It still boggles my mind that we have to pay for something that is essential to our survival. Companies like Nestle are hoarding water like a dragon hoards gold, and then try to sell it back to us for a profit in disposable plastic bottles. So they are both charging money for the most important ingredient to life on Earth, and creating more plastic pollution. What a fucking outstanding achievement. I work in a major metropolitan area, and like most cities this one also has a homeless population. On multiple occasions I've seen a homeless person walk into a restaurant and ask for a cup of water, just to have the person behind the counter say water is for paying customer only. Fuck you, bitch. It's fucking water. It should be available for every man, woman, child, animal, and plant for free. It's the reason we have life on this planet at all. And you're trying to make a profit on it? Burn in hell. Edit. Some people have pointed out the cost to treat and transport water. Of course there is cost involved, but that cost shouldn't be placed on the people who need access to clean water. Water treatment and distribution should be a public work, funded by taxes, and available to everyone for free. The right to know the truth about the world around you. I just want the power to enforce the current ones. Schnitzels. Everyone should have access to schnitzels. The right to affordable healthcare. I mean truly affordable. Like when I was in the military. If I had that power, I would also create a new basic human left, so that things are perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Let us enforce the old ones first. Access to internet. Healthcare. The right to transport. Even if you can't drive, then public transport should be available and cheap. And it should be possible for people who can't drive to get help with things they'd need a car for, like moving house or taking things to the tip or doctor's visits. The right to a life free of advertisements. Water. The fact that it isn't one is really fucking stupid. Freedom of religion. Tons of Christians in Syria being hunted down and murdered for their beliefs. The right to be left alone. No non-consensual surgeries for intersex babies and infants. Anywhere. At any time. It doesn't help anything. Just makes the baby look more normal, and oh, I almost left out the lifelong physical and psychological scarring. Right to equal treatment regardless of color, sexuality or religion. The right for children to be safe from harm and to be treated fairly. You don't brag about hitting other adults, or get excited to hit adults, or tell adults they can't use the bathroom when they have to pee. or take the doors off of adults' rooms, or disallow adults any privacy/personal possessions. You can't prevent adults from accessing life-saving medical intervention because of religion/hokum. Children are one of the last classes of people in the first world that are still treated like objects/lesser people, and it's so frustrating. The right to a living wage. And what I mean by that is, if you work full-time you should be able to access housing, healthcare, education and some level of comfort without going into debt. Honestly, I think we need more human duties. 5-second rule should not be frowned upon or shunned.